and it had this syrupy, I don't know, it had like lemon and butter, on top of it. It had this cake in a pan type thing. Well, for mom, it would always fall. And so what that meant is it'd fall, the cake would fall in the middle and it would all pool. And we liked that. So we'd eat the middle pieces. So we were cool. But this pooling process bugged her. And mother had this orientation of how to make it. It wasn't right, really, how to improve it exactly, but how do I make it right? So she had strong standards of black, white, right, wrong. And so in her process, what she assumed was going on was that we were too loud. So she would always poke things with toothpicks, see if they're made. I remember her cake stuff. And we couldn't run or bounce in the house, or run in the kitchen. We had to be quiet or be outdoors so the cake wouldn't fall. But it kept falling. So and I don't think it never did, not until years and years later. She realized somehow that she was using, I don't remember which, but like baking powder instead of baking soda or some ingredient like that that changed the game. Now I'll tell you that because what she really hadn't done, she just kept doing the same thing again and again. She hadn't figured out what she really wanted and how to solve it. She just had one tool, when the only tool you got's a hammer, every problem's a nail. And so she kept nailing the same thing, hoping to be better. So doubling down on something that's not working usually doesn't work. If it does work and you double down, it does double good. But when you think about next year, I just want to say there are really two major things I want to mention. Um, and the first is it'll make your holidays a lot better if you have some sense of a plan because it won't haunt in your mind. So if you can take some time where you have a moment before the break, family, friends, whatever you do, and really think about what I'm about to share, I think you're going to find it even makes the holidays a good bit better. So there's that. Now, here's how I would like to invite you to ponder it. There are really a couple of essential things you need. And the first is an idea of what and how to improve. And the key is to ask the right question. Mom was asking a question like, why is my cake falling? And and then she came up with theories and played around with them. Rather than how do I get my cake to rise properly? That would have actually set in motion a different way to think. And so for you, when you're trying to devise ideas, what and how to improve, you want to ask something like, what small change can I make that will make things way better? So in management, they'll do what 50% change would make 100% difference in 90 days or something. But really, all they need is what small change could I make? And this is how you want to think with leverage. What small change would make things way better? So I don't know what you're like, what you do, but when you start thinking about that question by areas, what small change would make a difference in the kids' math? Well, it might be if they reviewed their math facts um, once a week. I'm making up something. Uh, but it might be, if they just take math facts for uh, 15 minutes of their math time and just review them and then do the next group, not every day, but just like Mondays, get it over with. Or maybe on Fridays because, yay, Friday, it's your last day. You'll be good. I don't know. Um, but that small change might make a difference. It also might make a big difference if you were to start on time, it like had a set moment uh, to begin, and so it would set in motion the whole day. It could be in any particular area, but that's how you want to think. What is it that would be a small change that could make things way better? So, like for us, I remember one of them was we started realizing, hey, these kids could actually grade each other's writing, the older ones, or they could tell a synopsis of the day's reading to each other and report. We could mix that up. So, and that took gave us back time and engaged the kids in learning to help each other. And we mix it up. We do it too. So that's the main thing, the idea. But there's a second part, and it's the word decision. So with decision, I've actually got 3 Ds, 4 Ds in preaching style to share with you. But most people don't understand what it means to come to a decision. And that's what I want to try to encourage you. So if you figure out a small change to make a difference, part of the reason that you don't implement these things is you don't decide. And I want to invite you to decide. So here's what you need to understand. The first D is that the default is no. So whenever you're looking at anything and you haven't decided, that by default means it's a no. So decisions are always they're always yes. You know, even if it's a yes to not do something, but there's got to be a yes there because that's what you're doing. You're deciding. And the way decisions work is you're engaged in a process to come to a place of getting to this yes. So here's the second D, and that is deliberate or consider, but deliberate. So when you're deliberate, you deliberated. So when we make decisions, we had to consider and think through options. Um, that actually is strategic because you can deliberate for some time, but it's still not a decision, but it's got to happen. You've got to go through that process. What happens is the third D, decide. It's when you get to yes, right? And it's more of a sense that you know you will. So one of the things I learned some time ago in some training is that we have kind of 3 levels of intention. You can intend, you can attempt, or you can commit. Now, my personal observation is we really can't easily just, I commit, I decide. We actually have to do that deliberation, thinking through, consideration process. And it's like the decision comes to a place when we've thought it through to, it's sort of an aha. It's yes, I'll do it. I know I'll do it. And you ask somebody, are you going to do that? And and they'll say yes, and you go, really? And they go, yes, and you go, really? Maybe not, maybe it's this. But if they go, yes, yes, they know it. Well, you too need to be asking that sort of thing. Am I going to do this? It's not, I'm going to try. It's not Yoda. I mean, it is Yoda. There's no try, there's do or not do, but that's the game. So the default is no. The deliberate is the process. The decision is when you come to a place if you know you will, and you're saying, yes, I'm going to do it. I know I will. That, know within the boundaries of what you know about the future, but you have that sense, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then the last D is do. And so you get in motion. And there's the trick. So when you're thinking through the coming year and you're trying to plan and sort it out, I'm assuming you already have a system in place. If you don't, you're at a different stage. But how do you improve things? You want to consistently improve, maybe not constantly, but consistently. You're going to do that by getting a clear idea of what and how, and you're going to decide. And that's going to be the game. And so if you find that helpful, uh, uh, yeah, maybe share it, whatever. Really not that. I really just kind of get jazzed when people learn. So keep learning, share it with other people, how to do it. It doesn't have to be about me. Share some of your successes with us, Facebook here, wherever. We'd like to know how that helped. But I would encourage you to take a little time to do that very thing.